Hey guys, how is it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. And I do apologize for the late video, but divine timing as always. So this is going to be a general reading for Earth sign Capricorn for January 17th through February 17th. But I always say for some people it resonates 6 months in the past, 6 months in the future, a year in the past, a year in the future. As an example, all the readings that I do are timeless. So whenever you see this message, hopefully there is something in it for you. All right. And so this is a general message that can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc., and money. All right. And so I pulled all of your cards here, Capricorn. We'll get into it in just a moment. I just wanted to mention a few things. So, we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each of our birth charts, okay? So you could have Capricorn you could have Venus in your Capricorn as an example for matters of love and higher assets of wealth and money. You could have Capricorn as a rising sign. You could have Capricorn as your sun sign, Capricorn as your moon sign. It could be in other planets, etc. Okay, but we all have Capricorn somewhere in our chart, okay? So just wanted to say that as well. And if this reading, once we get into it and you find that it doesn't speak to you, always check your other placements, right? And so you can do that by just Googling a free birth chart online, even if you don't have your exact birth time, to find out what your other placements are. And always check those other videos here on my channel as well to kind of see everything, right? Because sometimes your moon sign can resonate more than your sun sign or your rising sign, or depending on what's going on in your life, things might change. You might resonate more or less, depending on what's going on. All right. So what else was I going to say? I think that was pretty much it. Oh, yes. If you are new, of course, welcome. Even if you're not new and you're coming back, welcome back. I do take one photo at the end of all of the cards that I will post after the live. So if you want to check that out and see the cards more up close in detail later, all you have to do after the live is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there if you want to check out the photo. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to just set my little timer here, my general kind of time watcher. But yeah, let's do a little bit of a sound bell for some grounding and feeling for the reading for myself and for you guys. So just be aware if you are sensitive to sound, whether you're listening with headphones or not, it does get a little bit loud sometimes, all right? And if you want to as well, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen. All right, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. So I also wanted to mention that since your reading is a little behind schedule, right? The next set of readings, since it's officially Pisces season, happy birthday ahead of time to all the Pisces out there. We'll be starting with the next series of readings from Pisces going backwards. Okay, so Capricorn, you should be like third in the row for the next set of readings. So just wanted to say that as well. And as always, thank you for your patience and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get into it here. So we're going to start in the center of your reading, okay, with the main 9 cards here. And then we'll work outwards to your tarot confirmation cards that I use another deck, tarot deck 4. And then we'll also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each card, each deck, I'm sorry. And then at the very end, we will go over a couple of oracle cards as well. All right, and I'm just going to make sure I have a little bit of music here to keep the dogs relatively calm and quiet. All right, so let me go ahead and call these out in order. So we have the Strength card in the right side up position, and let me stop right there just for a moment. I will call out the zodiac signs as far as the major arcanas right now. Sorry. And so we have the strength card. We have Leo showing up here in your reading, Capricorn. We have Virgo. We have Sagittarius. We have Pisces, and that's it. Okay, so you could be dealing with a Leo, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, or you could have a lot of placements in those signs in your chart, or the other person could, or if you're dealing with multiple people as well, or it means nothing to you at all, but I just wanted to mention it real quickly. All right, now going back to calling the cards out in order. So you started off with the Strength card in the right side up position, the Two of Cups right side up, the Princess of Sacred Circles or Princess of Pentacles in the reverse position, the Hermit in the right side up position, the Eight of Staves in reverse, the Ace of Cups in the right side up position, the Nine of Cups in the right side up position, the Three of Swords in reverse, and the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. So, generally, depending on, again, when you're watching this reading and how it will resonate for everybody will be different, right, since it's a general reading. But we were basically saying before for the other sets, series of readings for this time period, that this first row was energy starting around January 17th through January 31st, the last week, 2 weeks of January or so, okay? And then the second row here, excuse me, was around February 1st or so through February 9th. And then the last row is about February 9th through February 17th or so. But again, it can resonate before or after the original time period. So just wanted to mention that. Now, when we start off with this strength card, sorry, there's a dog hair or one of my hairs here. When we start off with the strength card in the beginning of your reading here, this could be energy that we're picking up from the recent past for further back into January or even December, November. Again, it will be different for everybody. And this is that Leo energy here, but it's a really beautiful energy. It speaks of positive forward momentum. It speaks of courage, right? It speaks of stepping into your own power, this timeless kind of energy and magic, almost like the magician. There is an infinity symbol over this African woman's head here that's right by the lion. Okay, so that's that timeless energy, manifestations, all of these good things here. And this could be your energy here, Capricorn, or it could be an energy of a person you're dealing with or multiple people, or a general environment situation. Could also have something to do with the general astrology of that time period. But like I was saying in one of the other videos too, when we talk about that the readings are timeless, let's say you're watching this video next year in 2023 for the same kind of time period, okay? So I don't know what's going to be going on with the astrology, next January and into February, but that's something to keep in mind as well, okay? Now moving forward, you have this beautiful Two of Cups here in the right side up position, Capricorn, and this speaks of some type of sacred union, okay? I'm sorry, one second. Wow, sorry. Okay. Guys, we had like 40-mile-per-hour winds in the last day or so. So I was just outside with the dogs and my allergies. All right. So the Two of Cups, we're talking about a sacred union here. It could be romantic. It could be platonic with friends or family, or a work partnership, or even a union of different parts of yourself coming together here. But it's an energy of an equal give or take, okay? It is divinely guided as well. It's higher vibrational love or some type of partnership or union here, okay? So having that come, after the Strength card is really beautiful, right? But there seems like there's a little bit of a blockage here as far as towards the end of January, right, Capricorn, where perhaps you or someone here is scared to level up or advance in some way in a relationship, in a work project, whatever it may be here. With the Princess of Sacred Circles, also known as Princess of Pentacles, in the reverse position, it's like the energy of the card is like, I'm not quite ready to plant the seeds for the future. I might be hesitant or scared of the future. Or the other person is in some way, or it's just general stagnant energy, right? And so normally when we talk about advancing or leveling up, it would go page, prince or princess, and then king or queen, right? So it is a princess, but it is in the reverse position. So there's always going to be little bits of blockages or challenges throughout every reading, and I also call them reminders sometimes, okay? So your next card is good, and so I wouldn't fret too much about it. But before we go forward into that second row here, and into your fourth card, my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what was on the top and the bottom of one of your decks here in relation to that first blockage with the Princess of Sacred Circles in reverse. So when I had mentioned earlier as well that in the beginning of the reading, it could be picking up energy from the recent past. What is the recent past for you? It could be a couple of days ago, weeks, minutes, hours, years, etc. Right? But when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, that's further back, way, way back past. So further back past, whatever that means for you. All right, so what we have is the Prince of Cups in the right side up position, and here we have the Queen of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. And we're talking about it in relation with the Princess of Sacred Circles in reverse, okay? So this could be saying that in the recent past, I did to myself, in the way, way back past here at Capricorn, there could have been some type of small or medium, more like a medium-sized communication that perhaps was given to you or someone, or you were going to give it to someone, or you already did give a communication to someone, or is a communication from the universe, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, whatever you like to call it, what have you, right? And this kind of led to even for more, sorry, let me slow down. This led even to more forward momentum, right? Because here he is on the horse galloping forward, and he is the Knight of Cups. So the cups represent our emotions, and it's in the right side up position. So it's like, what are my emotional priorities, my emotional boundaries? What makes me emotionally happy and content in relation to some type of maybe communication that came in? If there was no communication, it could just be general forward momentum, positive energy. And here it led into some type of leveling up for some people in some way, whether in a relationship, at work, what have you, right? The next stage of something. But here with the Queen of Sacred Circles, you see this Native American woman, looks like a grandmother. It has a lot of nurturing energy to it, okay? And so we also see in the background, there's the full moon, and even this little wheel that shows the different phases of the moon, right? So it could be referring back to even, let's say, if we're talking about January or the last 2 weeks of January, I don't remember when, actually I can check right now in my notes, when the January full moon was. Let's see, when was the January full moon? So the January full moon was on January 17th, and it was a full moon in Cancer. And then the February full moon was on February 18th, which was in Leo. Okay, so this could be referring for some people, but not everybody, to the way back past. Maybe it was only just a month ago or the last full moon, right? That we had in January, okay? But there was a lot of this nurturing energy and also wanting to pass something down. So the grandmother symbolism, right, when she's leaning over this child, is like, what am I going to pass down to the future generations as far as whatever you're currently trying to manifest in your life, right? So again, it could be relationships, platonic, romantic, etc. It could also be work stuff. It could be health stuff. It could be starting your own business. It could be moving, whatever it is here. Okay. But these are both very positive cards, in the right side up position here. So when it's kind of coming in and talking about these energies along with your third card, that blockage or stagnant energy, I really did feel like it was like a hesitancy to step up or come into some leadership roles or move into the next stage of a relationship at work or whatever you're currently trying to manifest. Okay, it was like almost scared. Am I planting the right seeds, right? Will I be successful? Will they be successful? Will multiple people be successful? General environment be successful? What have you? But there is some hesitancy, a little bit of a blockage or a reminder. So the reminder could just be that you had these energies here in the past about knowing what your emotional worth is, what the other person or multiple people's emotional worth is, and moving forward, and then bringing that energy of the full moon that we had in Cancer last time, if we're talking about last January, right, of this nurturing quality that Cancer energy tends to have as well, about going inward and getting in touch with your emotions. So maybe here it's saying for you, Capricorn, not to be scared to do that, or the other person you're dealing with shouldn't necessarily be scared of multiple people. All right, now going forward though, as your fourth card, we have a little bit of that Virgo energy with the Hermit in the right side up position. And this is really beautiful because we just talked about, right, not being scared to go within and get in touch with your emotions or their emotions or multiple people emotions. And here you have the Hermit, right? And he is all about introspection, intuition, going within, okay? Finding those answers. You hear other people's advice, right? You take those things in, but at the end of the day, what does it mean to me? Okay, what is my intuition, my body, my spirit, my guides? What are they telling me? What does it mean to me? It is a little bit of a pulling back of like social energy in some way to get to those answers, to hear yourself more clearly, right? You might have to physically distance yourself from some people, or maybe just energetically or emotionally, right? To hear those answers a little bit more clearly. But this is kind of like where the path was leading you here, Capricorn. And it seems like you felt that energy and you're like, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to slow down a little bit and go within and ask those questions and get some of those answers. Now, moving forward, though, we have the Eight of Staves or Eight of Wands in the reverse position, which could be that after that, and this again is that second row. So we're talking about February 1st through the 9th or so. Again, nothing is exact, okay? But there could have been a communication or somebody's instincts were off here. Somebody's timing was off, right? Because it's the Eight of Staves in the reverse position or Eight of Wands in reverse. So normally when it's right side up, these birds are reacting really quickly and surprised by these wands that were flying in the air towards them. So it's like the fight or flight mode of like, I gotta survive, I gotta react fast, right? So normally when this card is right side up, it's like a fast communication coming in, whether it's a good communication, a bad communication, you gave to someone, somebody gave to you, whatever, information from the universe, your spirit guides, etc. But here it's like, okay, maybe someone didn't understand that communication, or it was slowed down, or the timing was off, or your instincts were off, or their instincts were off, or everybody's instincts were off here. Okay, so it is kind of interesting because it's following the Hermit. So it will be different for everybody, of course, because it's general reading, but I feel that this Hermit energy was really you here, Capricorn, at the beginning of February, and this feels more like somebody else's energy, because how do you go from getting in touch with your intuition and your inner guidance system, and then here your instincts are off or your intuition is off? So this could be about the other person, multiple people, general environment situation, but I don't feel like it's necessarily you. I mean, of course, it could be for some people, but it's like, if it is for you and you find yourself in that category, I would say going backwards a little bit, because here you're starting to move forward, and then here there's a little bit of that stagnant energy. But it doesn't last long, right? As I always like to say, because then your sixth card here, Capricorn, is the Ace of Cups in the right side up position. Look how beautiful this card is. It's literally your cup is runneth over with beautiful, good things, right? And you see the whale in the background jumping, okay? And so the water in the tarot represents emotions, right? And also this card is about blessings. Aces are always about blessings, new beginnings, right? Fresh energy. So here I feel like you could get emotional fresh start in some way, or the other person gets an emotional fresh start in some way, or you both do, or multiple people do, or general environment situation. But it is kind of denoting this like emotional fresh start here. It's really beautiful, okay? Now, it's interesting in this reading and every reading, it's a little bit different, where my spirit guides will tell me, I want you to talk about what's in the top and the bottom over here. I want you to talk about it over here. But I will wait to get into the next thing I was going to mention, kind of more in a few more cards, actually. But you go from the Ace of Cups in the right side up position here, Capricorn, to then the Nine of Cups. Okay, so aces, you could say, is like zero, right? A fresh start at the beginning, not even a one. And then here you have the Nine of Cups, right? Excuse me. And so this is about being on the edge of another ending and new beginning, because 10 in the tarot would be completion number. So here all the cups are right side up. It's a party in this like medieval like scene here, woman dancing, a guy playing the guitar, right? And so it's really about putting in a lot of work as far as someone's emotions here. What makes them emotionally happy, content, fulfilled, emotional priorities, emotional boundaries, right? But it is also just, exploring also the celebrations and the wins that come along with doing all of that inner work, whether it's you yourself or another person or multiple people. Okay. And also celebrating the wins if you are on again into this third week, the week of February 9th through the 17th or so. Again, not exact, of being like, okay, I'm going to celebrate this next step that is right around the corner. And maybe now you're more ready to step into the next stage of something, step into a leadership role, or step into the next stage of a relationship, a job, what have you, right? Because maybe in the beginning of the reading there's that hesitancy and a little bit of scared energy, or just nervous or not quite sure. But here with the Nine of Cups right side up, it's like, yes, I'm feeling more confident in that energy. Okay. Now, moving forward here, Capricorn, you have the Three of Swords in the reverse position, which I believe Sagittarius had as well. I don't think it was in the same card in the same position. I can't remember now because it's a couple days ago. But this is how you want to see this card. Even though it's in the reverse position, it is very positive, okay? So here you are gaining mental clarity. You are letting go of a past hurt or betrayal, heartache, or lower vibrational frequencies, or even exhaustion. If it was right side up, that's what it would represent. But it's in reverse, and that's how you want to see this card. So you are letting those things go, or another person is, or multiple people, or both of y'all, or all of y'all, right? But you're getting more mental clarity with this, okay? Because swords represent our intellect in the tarot. But I really feel that this is so beautiful, especially if it is we're talking about the middle of February or even beyond, the rest of February, right? Because it will be different for everybody. But it's like, okay, not only do we start every new calendar year, every new year with being like, I don't want to do what I did in a certain way before in the past. I don't want to continue that in the future. Well, with the Three of Swords in reverse showing up here, it could also be that you're into that energy as well. Maybe it didn't happen all the way, or you weren't in that energy, at the beginning of January, but here you're, starting to definitely feel it towards the middle of February, okay? But whenever you do feel it, it is really a positive thing here. Now, I will say though that it's kind of similar. Your last card, your ninth card, is kind of similar to your third card, where there's like this hesitancy to step into your own power. Again, whether it's a leadership role or another person's leadership role, or multiple people's leadership role, or stepping up and leveling up in some way, because we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. And it's also like I'm getting the mental clarity, but then I'm also losing it, right? Because you're starting to gain it here with the Three of Swords in the right side up, in the reverse position, sorry. And then with the Queen of Swords in reverse, it's like somebody loses it again, okay? Or it's just general stagnant energy, but it also could be because of somebody's emotions. So it's like second guessing something with emotions here. Sorry guys, I think I have dog hair on my hair and my mouth. Sorry. So it's like you go from letting the anxiety, worry, overthinking go, letting the heartache, the pain, the hurt, the low vibrational frequencies, the exhaustion energy go. But then here it could be that switches really quickly because somebody's emotions are all over the place. And I say that because when the card is right side up, you see this Japanese woman standing over one of the islands in the middle of the ocean, right? So water is the emotions again. But here it's in reverse. This could also be, for some of you guys, the Queen of Swords, when she's right side up, can be seen as a very cold and calculated individual, right? Whether you're male or female or binary or however you identify, right? But in this card, the way it's depicted, if it was right side up, she has this playful energy to her face. She's actually waving at the people beneath her. So she's staying humble and having this lighthearted energy, or she's trying to, while she takes on these responsibilities and leadership qualities. So here in the reverse position, it could be that some of you guys are staying in that cold, calculated kind of energy, and you're not being humble enough as you should, or the other person isn't being humble enough as they should, or multiple general environment situation. Okay. But there's still some really good cards, so I wouldn't worry too much. It's just a reminder, right? But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into, well, actually, no, hold on. Yeah, I said I was going to talk about it here. Before we get into your tarot confirmation cards, let's talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here in relation to that last Queen of Swords in reverse. So here we have the Nine of Wands in the right side up position at the top of your deck, and on the bottom of your deck, you have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position here. So this is, again, way back past energy. So in the way back past energy here, Capricorn, however, whatever that means for you, right? A couple days ago, months, weeks, hours, minutes, years, etc. You could have been very defensive in your interactions with others and just with yourself in general. Here with the Nine of Wands in the right side up position, you could have been feeling more vulnerable, or people were viewing you as vulnerable because you were being so defensive, or someone else here was if it wasn't you. But because of that energy, it actually was a catalyst for this really great energy of the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position. And this is how you want to see this card. It is surrendering control. It is surrendering the philosophy or ideas or placement of coming from a position of lack, right? When the card is right side up, he's holding on to these pentacles really desperately, right? He's got one under each foot. He's holding one on his lap. He's got one on his head. So it's controlling too much, controlling energy, or coming from a place of fear or lack, okay? But it's in reverse. So it looks like that defensive energy, that vulnerable energy, at some point somebody said, hey, why are you trying to control so much? Or maybe you found that within yourself, and you asked yourself, why am I trying to control too much and be so defensive and keep people away, or keep this idea of being vulnerable to the point where it's hurting myself and others? So you started to let go of this control or this fear or this place of lack, okay? And so when we put it together with the Queen of Swords, it's like maybe that Four of Pentacles in the reverse position wasn't fully done yet. Maybe this process started in the past, but here it comes up again with the Queen of Swords in the reverse position, with somebody's emotions maybe now being a little bit all over the place, with that general stagnant energy. It could be because they're trying to control too much, like a queen or a king or someone in a position of high authority or a leadership role. But a really great leader, right, does those things in balance, okay? And so it could just also be saying that something was out of balance here with somebody's level of control and fear and operating from a place of lack, and also putting it together with that humility, that energy we talked about as well. All right, so now we can go ahead and get into your tarot confirmation cards here. So I'll go ahead and call them out, and then we'll go in order. So you have the Temperance card in the reverse position. You have the High Priestess in the right side up position. You have the Five of Swords in the right side up position. And then you have the King of Pentacles in the right side up position. Now, these first two tarot confirmation cards are usually recent past energy, and then the last two are more future current energies possibilities, right? Okay, so we'll go in order here. But with the Temperance card in the reverse position, that's a little bit of that Sagittarius energy that I mentioned before. And so it could be saying here, Capricorn, that in the recent past, you or someone here was lacking patience. Somebody here was having a hard time balancing between two different things, okay? Balancing between the unconscious and the conscious world, balancing between the spiritual and the 3D world, the 5D and the 3D world, or something about balance, okay? But it's really also a lack of patience, right? So maybe in the recent past, again, recent past will be different for everybody, but there was a frustration with the timing of something and wanting to go really fast. And maybe you yourself or the other person or multiple people, general environment situation, said it's not going to go at the pace you want. You need to be more patient, but somebody was lacking that in the recent past. Now, when this Temperance card in the reverse position comes in here and it's confirming the Strength card in the right side up position, the Hermit in the right side up position, and the Nine of Cups in the right side up position. Let me just get a little closer here so I can try to hold them all together, all right? And so here we have a little bit of this energy of, you know, the Temperance card in the reverse position, that lack of patience or lack of balance actually was a catalyst, and it made you get more strength, courage, passion, creativity with the Strength card, manifesting things. It also had you go inward. If it made you slow down, right, and forced you or someone else to slow down or multiple people to slow down in some way, that maybe led you to listen to answers from your inner guides, your intuition more. Okay, so that's really beautiful as well. Excuse me. And then with the Nine of Cups in the right side up position, this is also a catalyst, right? And so it's like, okay, I took the time to get 9 cups. It's not 2 of cups. It's not 5 of cups. It's 9, right? Being on the edge of an ending and a new beginning, right? So it's like, it takes time to get to endings and new beginnings. And we have to ask ourselves, like, what makes me emotionally content, emotionally fulfilled, emotionally happy? What are my emotional boundaries, priorities, all of these things, but having a nice balance. So if the Temperance card was in the right side up position, you see this woman here too. I have to show you the card right side up. She's got 1 foot on land and 1 foot in the water, and she's taking water right from one jug to another, okay? And so she's transmuting that energy, and it's like back and forth, ebb and flow. And so maybe here there's a better flow, right? There is more forward momentum, and it really pays off that you were patient here. The other person was patient here, Capricorn, or multiple people, okay, or general environment, all right? Now, moving forward, your second tarot confirmation card, and we're still talking about the recent past energy. We have that Pisces energy here with the High Priestess in the right side up position. This is one of my favorite cards, and it actually feels very like the Hermit card, okay? And so, you know, this is this energy of coming together and making it possible to trust your intuition. The High Priestess also talks about secrets, knowledge, secret knowledge, right? Talking about, you know, the occult or mysteries or something like that. But also you see when we talked about balance, right? Both of these pillars, one is white and one is black. So it's the balancing too of the light and the dark that is within all of us and within everything, okay? So when this High Priestess comes in here and is confirming the 2 of Cups right side up, the 8 of Staves in reverse, and the 3 of Swords in reverse, okay? We'll just do it one by one because I can't hold all of them, I guess. All right. So with the 2 of Cups here, it's like the more you trust your intuition, you also, with the High Priestess, she's usually, this time it's not a scroll, but she's holding a book. So it has something to do with writing. Even if it's not physically writing, it's like getting your words together, or the other person is getting their words together, or multiple people are getting their words together in some way to have more knowledge of themselves and of others. And when you put it with the 2 of Cups here, it really makes more of these unions. Sorry, I'm just trying to turn that down. It makes whatever these sacred unions that we're talking about, whether it's romantic or platonic with friends or family, or even different parts of yourself, come together and meet and be more highly divined, vibrational love, and an equal give and take of energy here. So that is really nice to see. Now, like I said, whether that was like a union that you were in or you were perhaps inspired by in some way, it just led to even more shedding and releasing and healing of something with the 3 of Swords in the reverse position. So when the High Priestess comes here in here and confirms this card, it's like, yes, let go of the anxiety, worry, the hurt, the heartache, the betrayal, the pain, the low vibrational frequencies. Keep your vibration high, right? As high as you can. Do things that you enjoy doing as long as it doesn't hurt you or others, right? And let all of that anxiety and worry go, because it's like, I'm trusting my intuition. I'm trusting in my guides, the universe, the angels, what have you, okay? Now, moving forward, when we see, and actually I did that in the wrong order, but it doesn't really matter. With the Eight of Staves in the reverse position as well, right? Because we're just showing the confirmation cards here. When the High Priestess comes in and confirms this, it's like, yeah, somebody wasn't using their intuition. We knew that before because the Hermit was over here, right? So somebody's instincts were off. Somebody's timing was off. Somebody's survival mode or fight or flight mode perhaps wasn't where it should be, or it's telling you that you don't need to have it there either, right? We have the flight or fight mode left over from our ancestors, right, when they were battling saber-toothed tigers and all of those things, right? So it could also be saying for some of you guys that you don't necessarily need to fight or run away or fight or flight. Oh my God, why can't I say that? It could just be saying, get back to yourself, get back to your intuition. If the timing was off, for whatever reason, with some type of communication that was suddenly slowed down or didn't happen or wasn't well received or something like that, it could just be that it was for the best. It was divine timing, even if it was annoying to you or the other person in multiple people, general environment situation. All right. Now, moving forward, when we talk about your last two confirmation cards, these are, remember, more in the current, present, future energy possibilities, okay? So with the Five of Swords, I'm just going to make sure to turn this up a little bit. Okay, yes. So with the Five of Swords in the right side up position here, this is about a reminder that someone needs to stay focused on the present moment. And again, not be so defensive. Don't think about the past so much. Don't think about the future so much. Don't be so competitive with yourself and with others, right? Why is he won a battle between these two guys in the background, and now he's picking up all the swords. He doesn't need all those swords. It's like, why are you defending yourself and being so defensive? You only need one sword, okay? So it's like a reminder here to just focus on that present moment and just pull back your defenses a little bit here. Now, when this Five of Swords comes in here and is confirming the Princess of Sacred Circles in reverse, the Ace of Cups in the right side up position, and the Queen of Swords in reverse position. Let me just do one by one here. It's basically saying that the reason why there was a little bit of the blockage, maybe towards the end of January here, somebody was hesitant or scared to move forward, to plant seeds for the future and welcome in more abundance and start to maybe level up in some way, whatever it may be, or step into a leadership role. Maybe the reason why this blockage was here is because somebody wasn't focusing enough on the present moment, right? We do want to plant seeds for the future, right? We do think about the future, but we don't stay there too long, okay? That's the point. And so it's like, we also think about the past and what we learned from the past or what we don't want to repeat, but we don't want to stay there too long. We want to stay in the present energies, all right? Because that's all we have, right? Nobody is promised tomorrow. Now, when the Five of Swords is in the right side up position again, and it's confirming the Ace of Cups right side up here, is this catalyst energy. It's like, yes, the more that you focus on that present moment, let some of your defenses down, you're going to have more abundance. You're going to have aces, which are new beginnings, fresh start, fresh emotional start here with all this water. You can have that fresh emotional start, or the other person or multiple people, general environment situation, as long as you try to stay more in that present energy, the present moment energy, and let some of your defenses down. Now here, the same thing, kind of when we talk about your last blockage, your ninth card here, the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. When the Five of Swords right side up is confirming that, it's like if somebody, again, was scared to step into a leadership role or advance in some way in a relationship, a work project, a job, whatever it is, right? It's like you could do that if you focus more on what do I currently need to get done right now in this present moment to get done, but also to be happy the best way possible for myself, okay? And so it's almost like reminding you here, Capricorn, to, not be so defensive and use the swords for mental clarity. When we talk about the swords and the wands in the tarot, if you've watched me before, I always say the swords and the wands are very similar because they're a tool or they're also a weapon, right? So if you had the Ace of Swords, you're clearing your path, you're cutting back the jungle, right, to have a clear path. But then you also use the sword in battle to defend yourself. The same thing with the wands. Maybe doesn't cut as clearly, but you can bend the branches back, right? Or you can use the wands to make a shelter or a home or something, right? So it's kind of like the duality of both of those things, of both of the swords and the wands. So it's like, how am I going to use it in a way that can make myself more abundant? And abundance isn't just money, right? It is money and wealth, but it's also whatever you want to currently manifest in your life, moving forward. All right. Now, your last tarot confirmation card here is actually the King of Pentacles in the right side up position. And here, this is almost feeling like this is what it could be, right? Because it necessarily hasn't all the way happened yet, because it's more future, present possibilities and moments here, right? But here we have this king. The throne is in the background, okay? There's a little bit of Taurus energy here as well, with the bull twice in the imagery, okay? But it's about that earth energy, and you are Capricorn, an earth sign as well, right? You're not necessarily the bull, you're more the goat, okay? But it's about being really reliable, being in touch with your stability financially and in other areas as well, right? And having a support system behind you, whether it's friends, family, mental health care worker, all of those things, whatever your sense of community or support is, so that can be more abundant, right? And look at that. He's holding his pentacle right in his hand, okay? So that symbolizes abundance, wealth, right? All that good stuff we were just talking about. So when this is coming in here and it's confirming the Princess of Sacred Circles, it's confirming the last three cards we just did, but in a little bit in a different way. The Ace of Cups in the right side up position, and again, the Queen of Swords in reverse, okay? So we'll do it one by one here. So with this King of Pentacles confirming the Princess of Swords, the Princess of Sacred Circles, my bad, or Princess of Pentacles is also what it's known as, right, in other decks. Okay, these are both Pentacle cards, if that's how you want to say it, okay? But here it's like, don't be scared to plant seeds for the future because they're going to be good. You have to think the law of attraction, right? So it's like, I'm going to plant these really good, positive things for myself in the future, and I'm going to know that with support, I can get those things, okay? So here, it's like a little reminder and telling you you can become those things with the support behind you, all right? And also stepping into your power, right? When we're talking about this could have been a hesitancy to level up in some way or step into a leadership role. It's like you don't necessarily have to... excuse me, oh my God, my allergies. You don't necessarily have to be strong all the time, but I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. Hold on. You can kind of fake it before you make it. Step into that role, level up in some way, in a relationship, in a job, in a romantic partnership with friends or family, what have you. And kind of, again, rely on your support system and know that you will find your way, you will find your path, okay? So that is beautiful, all right? Now, moving forward, though, when this King of Pentacles is confirming the Ace of Cups, it is like a double kind of positive confirmation of each other, right? And so it's like, the more you have that fresh start emotionally, or the other person does, or multiple people do, or general environment situation, then you can step into your power. And if it's not a leadership role or leveling up, stepping into your power can also just be talking about having more confidence, feeling comfortable in your body, in your energy, the way you present yourself, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily that you are in a position, higher position of authority over others. It could just be, you're stepping into your most royal, high vibrational energy too. Okay. So, excuse me. So that is beautiful. I'm having issues today. or maybe all the time, but that's okay. Here we are. We're doing our best. So then, when the Queen of Swords in reverse is also confirmed by the King of Pentacles, right? And this is kind of saying here that, again, get your emotions in control of the other person, right? And keep the humility that we talked about if you are in a leadership role. You don't have to be so clear, cold, and calculating of like, this is how I get things done, and this is what gets results, and bitches make things happen. Well, yeah, being a bitch can make things happen, but also you can make things happen without necessarily being a bitch completely, right? There's always like a little bit of wiggle room here, all right? And so, I think that this is, a very good reading, even though there's a couple blockages, because it's showing you, if you keep those reminders in the back of your head, right, you can become the King of Pentacles or the Queen of Pentacles or whatever. You can step into your power and manifest and bring more abundance into your life, all right? So that is beautiful here, Capricorn. Now, real quickly before you go, we do have a couple oracle cards here as well. So your first one is your love oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic love, platonic love with friends or family, or self-love, or all the above, right? Your love oracle message is reconciliation, and it says someone from your past is returning to your life. All right. So you could be having some type of reconciliation with a romantic partner, okay, that you used to date or be together in the past. And if it's with friends or family, it could be somebody from a friend somebody you used to be friends with, right? Or somebody you used to know from the past that you considered a friend, or some family members that you lost touch with from the past, or even if it's like ancestry.com and you're finding out some information about your family from the past or past ancestors, something like that, okay? And then when we talk about self-love, it could be that parts of yourself from the past are healing. They're coming more to the present in the forefront. They're returning to your life so you can heal those things and have your heart and your self-love come together more unified, all right? But that is very beautiful, however it resonates for you. And then your last oracle card here is from the Rumi or Remy, depending on how you pronounce it, oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. It's really beautiful. And it says passion for purpose. And here you see this woman kind of wearing this pink veil, and there's kind of this abstract pink swirly thing here, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit from this, not all of it, right? But let me start off by saying that Rumi or Remy, depending on how you pronounce it, is a 13th century Persian poet, and he's one of my favorite. And so when I saw this deck, I was like, I have to get it. All right. So here we go. It says, passion for purpose. Love, like life, flows through the heart. Feel the thrill of the flow and say nothing. Do you yearn to find your way, to fulfill your divine destiny, to know the purpose of your presence within the sacred body of the Earth Mother? Your heart is questing for deeper meaning. It desires certainty as to your sacred task of this lifetime. Your heart wants to know why you were born, for what purpose. You must know that the answer to this question is love. I bring you your answer straight from the heart of the universe. Be wild within your passion. Do what stirs your soul, even when it makes you uncomfortable. Especially then, for what is being truly alive, if not a decision to be open instead of resistant, to be wild rather than comfortable, so that at any moment we'll be ready for the invitation of the divine beloved to come closer. Beautiful. When you even put that with just a pause there for a second with the 9 of Wands in the past energy, it's like yes, or even the 5 of Swords right side up in the more future current energies. Let the resistance down, right? You don't have to be so defensive. Be more open is what it was saying, right? Okay, where else were we here? Okay. For what is being truly alive, if not a decision to be open instead of resistant, to be wild rather than comfortable, so that at any moment we'll be ready for the invitation of the divine beloved to come closer. I call to you now, the you that is beyond your mind, the you that the heart knows. the you that cannot deny life. To that you, I ask this question: what stirs the passion of your nature? Do that and be that. All right, that's beautiful. And then there's a little sacred ritual to get into honoring this energy of this card here, excuse me, as well. Okay, so it says, sit with one hand on your belly and one hand at your heart and say the following aloud. Rumi or Remy, who loves me unconditionally, brother of my soul, guardian of my heart, help me witness, receive, and express the divine depths of your of my passionate purpose. With with merciful grace, help me know my life purpose and fulfill my unique divine destiny this lifetime. May I be gifted with the ability to consciously recognize the guiding hand of love on my journey, and that I may serve that same hand through passionate and purposeful existence. Yes, right on the bell there. Ah, yes. Surrender into the greater passionate purpose of the universal heart, so be it. And then it says, sit quietly, imagine it. Sit quietly and imagine or intend your energy from the universal heart of love is flowing through the back of your head now into your heart and circulating between your belly and your heart. Any excess or old energy flows out through the back of your heart as a beautiful energy of love streams into your being. Stay with this gentle process for as long as it feels right for you. You may feel emotion, sexual energy, or nothing much at all. Whatever happens or does not appear to happen is perfect for you at this time, so trust it and let it be. All right, that is beautiful. So this is your reading here, dear Capricorn. Thank you guys so much as always. And next time, again, you'll be the third one in the row because we'll be starting with Pisces, Aquarius, and then Capricorn, so you won't have to wait for your reading as long next time. So again, thank you guys so much as always for your likes, for your shares of this video, for your support in any way. They're all free ways to support the channel. And if you want to subscribe and you haven't yet, it is free as well. All you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure it's blue and it's active, and it'll notify you when I put out more readings. So anyway, you guys take care and enjoy this time period, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.